All right. Anyways, we are live. Woo! Dab emoji. Right. I am up to date with the kids. Anyways, hey, hi, hello, everybody. We're gonna play a terrible game. If you're familiar with Spud's previous work, this is Dungeons Against Humanity. It's D&D, or rather any sort of tabletop role-playing game, except instead of dice, we draw from the Cards Against Humanity decks. Joining us this week is Space Jawa.
Hello.
VerminQuest.
Hello.
Swest.
Howdy.
Zarhon.
Hey.
And Azure Mountain.
Hey.
And we can get into character introductions in a second, but as it is currently an hour and a half later than I intended to start, let's just roll straight into this adventure. This terrible, terrible adventure. So, brave adventurers all, you have been summoned forth in order to achieve a most important task. The king of this land has set forth you all on a quest to brave the Spire of Night and bring forth its terrible master. Needless to say, there was a lot of money involved, and if not money, something you were all very interested in, one way or another. The king did get a little hands and knees beggy at the end, because this is going to be a serious situation, of course. Spire of Night, massive curse. Massive unspecified curse, as far as you could tell. You figure, usual Citadel kind of thing. And you have found yourself all at the floor of this keep, this enormous, sprawling castle that has dimensions that don't seem quite right from the outside. I am getting some serious feedback from somebody.
I think it might be VerminQuest.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thing keeps
Here, 1 second.
Okay. Yes, there we go. It is not doing that anymore.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's no worries. It happens. It was just getting a little bit distracted. I was like,
I can still feel a bit of feedback, but
I think this is a more acceptable level, so it's fine. It's all good. Anyways, you have all found yourselves at the Spire of Night, the Cursed Citadel, and now is probably a good time to actually introduce yourselves to each other. Would anyone like to start, or should I just pick a name out of a hat?
All right, well, first there is Dr. Jonk. He's basically Jonk from the Forgotten Ones, but he's, instead of a ranger / barbarian, he's a quote-unquote kaboomist, which just is a fancy way of saying he's an artificer who specializes in stuff blowing up. And he's basically wearing the fantasy equivalent of a lab coat, goggles, and a steampunk / fantasy battery pack on his back, and he's also got what you wouldn't expect for a lizard folk, a long pencil-ish mustache.
Fascinating. All right. Who would like to introduce themselves next?
I can go.
Go ahead.
My character is Rufio, Slayer of the Terror of Squirming Doom. He is a ordinary mouse who is also a knight, the lancing kind of knight, a ride on a steed that is an ordinary snail.
Fascinating. I love it.
He has a picture, and I can link it.
Yes, I think you'll need to link it in the stream chat or in the main chat, because there we go.
They can see it.
That's a very big thing, and I don't think I can just open it in this, but it's down here.
I'll make it an imager.
Alrighty. Did you just do a pointer or something, Asher?
Yeah, I accidentally hit tab.
No worries. Okay. Anyways, That is Dr. Jonk and Rufio, you said?
Yes, Rufio.
Alrighty.
Slayer of this-
Oh, Rufio, Slayer of the Squirming Beast?
Yeah, imagine like if anyone knows who Cursed is from one of the official campaigns, he pretty much killed that on his own.
Nice. I just want to make sure I'm getting his title proper.
Another one. Better. Link the thing killed.
Yes, I saw the picture earlier and it's fantastic. I will try to put it on the screen at some point later tonight, but right now we need to power on through this. Who's next?
Guess I'll go next. I'm Irakul, a Winter Eladrin, open-hand monk.
What's a winter eladrin?
It's a type of elf
Ah,
that
He's
are
basically a Christmas elf.
no, more like a sad elf that can.
Picture Eeyore if he was immortal. More immortal.
Yeah,
So he's emo elf.
kind of, except like icy blue and somber.
He's frozen.
Ah, yes. Fascinating. I love it. I guess that leaves our dearest friends Renadriel and Finny. So which of you would like to reveal yourselves?
I'll go. Standing somewhere a little far off from the rest of the party, there is a half-elf wearing a dark cloak with spikes that just shoot out little flames like blowtorches. She's standing there with her arms crossed and just kind of looking incredibly cool all of the time.
Ludicrous.
That's Renadriel. She's a sorcerer, half-elf, and she's holding a large greatsword.
The remnants of her fallen party.
Or a long sword, not a great sword. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes, the remnants of her fallen party.
Fellow martial expert.
Yeah.
She side eyes the comment.
Yes. Ren definitely knows how to use sword. All right. And that leaves Finny. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Finny the Fighter is a mountain dwarf, folk hero, kind of. Somehow level 20. She is red-haired, has braids in her hair, and is quite stout and short but tall for being dwarfish, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got 2 battle axes and her longbow and a crossbow, so she is quite well armed.
Okay. Sounds excellent. Sounds like a party that really knows how to get shit done. I hope that will serve you well.
Aw, yeah.
Anyhow, the 5 of you find yourself at the entrance to this sprawling castle that seems to bend space around it. The standing before you are 2 enormous wooden doors that seem heavy with time and just sheer mass. How would you like to proceed?
I will
And then
yell out a battle cry and just
the
to
doors on fire.
Okay, one at a time, please. Zarhon, you first.
I will yell out a squeaking battle cry and joust towards the door.
All right. And Jonk, you said you were going to attempt to blow them up?
Well, he asked if anyone would object if he set the doors on fire.
Seems reasonable. Let's see. I'm gonna flip a coin to see who goes first. How about that? Oops, I should
You
actually...
don't need to. You do not need to. The snail, he's going at actual snail space, so...
Fair enough!
So does anyone offer any protest to the set wood doors on fire plan?
I mean, if
Vicky's
If you
going
wanna
go
set
up
them
and
on
try
fire.
to lock to see if they're locked.
They are not locked.
Is it just me, or does Swest sound kind of quiet a bit?
They're a bit quiet.
Yeah, so you're just a touch quiet. If you might be able to adjust some settings in Discord to make yourself louder.
Yeah, hang on. Technical difficulties.
No worries. Yes, I have every right to complain about technical difficulties.
Yeah.
I was just in that option about 5 seconds ago. That's not it. Oh, yes, that's it.
Yeah. Get it?
I'm getting it. Any better?
A little?
A little bit.
Okay, let's grab one more thing. Do any better?
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Okay.
So you tried? So you checked to see if the doors were unlocked?
Yes, I'm checking to see if the doors are unlocked. I'm just like pushing past everybody and trying the door.
That is how, real fast, that is how you became level 20, by having some common freaking sense. Anyways, the doors are in fact unlocked, and the lot of you can enter, no problem. Someone might need to pick up Rufio, Slayer of the Writhing Beast.
Well, that is boring.
How?
I mean,
Go ahead.
as soon as we get past the door, I mean, you can still set them on fire.
Also true.
Yes, but then I won't have a legitimate excuse.
Well,
Do you need
suit
one?
yourself.
Alrighty. So yes, you enter, and immediately it's very apparent that the outside and the inside do not match, because what was outside a sprawling castle, inside is a just pile of staircases, just every which direction. Some going sideways, some going into themselves. It looks like one set of staircases is, circling around itself, somehow always rising, somehow always falling, etc., etc. But it's a lot narrower than you thought from the appearance of the outside, and there are doors just everywhere. None of them appear to be locked. In fact, they all seem to be very, very slightly open. It's just a matter of figuring out which one's actually going to lead you somewhere you want to go. So, how would you like to proceed?
I think I will use the intuition of my mount to decide, see where it's pointing its eye tentacles at.
All
wherever
right.
snails have.
I believe it's just eye stalks. I think that's what they're
Yeah,
referred
eye
to
stalks.
as. I don't remember offhand. I will have to Google that later. Snails are fascinating. Anyway, all right. Let me just go ahead and draw a card for myself. Let's see. Ah, good. Okay. Your snail leads you to one of the nearby rooms, which crackles and bursts with lightning and electricity, and what you can all feel is some extremely magical energy. And let me see if I get a good noun here. Yep, that works. Inside, you can hear some sort of voice screaming, "Yes! Yes! Finally! I have done it!" Would you like to investigate what it is that he has done?
That
Yes.
sounds like a good idea.
Yes, because it sounds villainous or insane. Villainously insane.
Insanely villainous.
One or the other. So inside you can see a man leaning over an enormous sort of table. Some sort of like autopsy table or something akin to that. And you can see there are strange machines just absolutely littering the place. And there's a skylight in here, which is weird because you're definitely not on the top level. And outside it is storming, which it was not earlier. And lightning strikes all around the area. And you can see there's this sort of bubbling magical energy that seems to have been turned into a liquid form somehow and remains in these large containers spread about the room. And this man wearing a lab coat and goggles and looking very much like a human version of Jonk says, "My greatest creation! Finally! I have done it." He appears to be blocking whatever it is that he has done from your sight.
What have you done, if I might
Okay,
ask, sir?
So Mage Hand is a cantrip. Jonk is going to use one of his devices to create a Mage Hand to tap the scientist on the shoulder.
Oh good, you've cast magic. Let's see what actually happens. You pull down his pants. He is not wearing underwear.
Aware of this.
Because the card you drew, Jawa, was sexual humiliation. And you hear him, his voice goes up like about 2 octaves, and he goes, "Ah!" And proceeds to try and wrap his lab coat just completely around himself. You see him sort of like shrink down just to, onto his knees to cover as much of his body as possible.
Rufio attempts to turn away and cover his snail's eyes.
Good luck with that.
Now that we have your attention,
you can, as I said, he knelt down, so you can now see what's on the table. It's 2 very large pairs of socks.
well, that doesn't make that great creation at all.
Did you make those? Did you buy them from the store?
I feel like
Are
you
they
could do
warm?
a similar thing with some cloth and prestidigitation.
He from his position, he sort of gesticulates wildly using about half of his arms because he's still trying to sort of hold himself together, and he goes, "No, you fools! Don't you see? These are the perfect socks. They will never ever get wet. They know how to clean themselves, and the best part, they're so damned comfy."
Well, that is true. That does sound like a pretty great creation.
But can they get lost in the washing?
He smiles widely, and you see the socks begin to rise, as if being worn by giant invisible feet. And he says, "No, because these socks feast on dryers. And adventurers, should dryers be unavailable. Speaking of, they're very hungry." And these socks start running at the lot of you.
Okay, so
I'm
Jonk
not
is-
waiting. I will attack.
Jonk is going to. Let me see. Yes, he's just gonna start firing off firebolt.
Okay, let's do this in some kind of order.
I would also like to toss the scientist at the socks.
Fair enough. Okay. Let's start with Zarhon. You said you were charging?
I would pretty much leap off the mountain, yes, with the lance in hand attack.
Alright, let's see how well that goes. How the hell do I interpret this? Huh.
Honestly, what comes to my mind is just
the Oompa
Not-
scene or whatever it's called in
Yeah,
Charlie
but
and the Chocolate.
not literally becoming a blueberry, but figuratively becoming a blueberry, like a snack.
Fair.
Yeah, my interpretation would be that the socks try to eat the mouse.
I think that
Yeah.
might be the
Okay.
case. I think you get swallowed by the socks. It's very confusing and very off screen. You're not dead, but it might take a bit, and also some other stuff is about to
Can I
happen.
not attack them from within?
I think you can. I think that's going to be your next action, though.
I mean, according to the scientists, they're very comfy in there. So
They are very comfy in there.
Oh no, I might fall asleep.
You might.
Must resist.
That would be a true danger.
On the other hand, as a mouse, I would probably try to make it into bedding, which does not bode well for them.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
Okay, so yes, Jonk, he's firing off Firebolt. He's got it as a cantrip, and he is going to use it.
Yep.
and the Urkel is tossing the scientist at the socks.
All right. Let's Okay, let's start with that firebolt, and then
Then he's in the back with the longbow.
sounds reasonable. We will see how that attack goes in a moment. Yeah, I think that firebolt really begins to mess with one of those socks. I think you can see the scientist beginning to sort of pale as it goes from extremely comfortable to only sort of mildly comfortable after it's been through a good wash.
Might have a hole in it.
Yeah, it's got a hole in it now. He accounted for socks that never get wet and thus cold. He did not account for what happens if the socks get too hot. Because presumably you wouldn't wear them at that point. God dang it, I accidentally picked up the whole deck. All right, let's see how... Okay, throwing the scientist into the... I'm sorry, I should let you guys draw since you're actually in here. I'll avoid that in the future. But yes, Azure. Drinking responsibly. I mean, that sounds like a good role to me. How would you like to interpret this one, I think? Are you...
Toss him into the sock, take a drink, and just sit in a corner.
Let
everyone else deal with it.
Sounds reasonable. I think the scientist goes into the same sock that Rufio, Slayer of the Writhing Beast, went into. It fits them both.
Done my part.
That is a really big sock.
Yeah, they're enormous. As I said, it seems like they're being worn by very giant feet. They don't seem to like shift. Like the size of them does not seem to shift based on like what contents are inside of them. So Swest, you said you had your longbow out and ready?
Yep. She's looking at the... Are the socks floating?
No, they're on the ground. Like I said, it seems like they're being worn by a giant invisible something. There's not an invisible something there, but that's just how they're reacting.
Okay, she's gonna try to shoot the socks and put an arrow through the toe of them and kind of nail them to the floor.
Ooh, sounds good. Oof! Nothing. The card is literally nothing.
So
I think that's a miss.
nothing happens.
I think
Or you hit the void.
I think you...
Hey, I've
shoot
got
an
too
arrow
many
and it
people in
just-
front.
Disappears.
You hit the nothing that is controlling the socks.
Mhm.
Also, okay. I'm gonna flip a coin, and it's either gonna be heads. It's the nothing that is controlling the socks. Tails, your bow dry fires because the arrow just vanished. Oops. Heads, you hit the nothing controlling the socks.
Yay!
So the sock that doesn't have anything, the sock that doesn't have anything in it just sort of collapses to the floor. There's still one other sock with two things inside, and it is not really moving towards anybody. It's just sort of fighting itself in place. VerminQuest, what would you like to do?
The She looks at the sock on the floor, and then the one that had eaten both her companion and the doctor, and she, like, fear wells up in her eyes for a moment, and she says, "No, not again." And then she holds out her hand and casts Burning Hands on the sock.
Oh boy. All right. Oh, were we using a D4? Was that the one we were using last time?
We were using a D4, but I think it was basically a coin.
Yeah,
Because I think you were doing, like, evens and odds.
that's true. Okay. Yeah, because I didn't have a coin on me. So, all right. Heads, wild magic. Tails, it's normal. Heads! All right, let me pull
It's
up my...
wild magic, right?
Yep. Let me pull up my wild magic table real fast. Let's see. Oh, here's the...
Does wild magic cause a new effect, or does it?
Oh, it'll do
alter the
both.
existing magic?
It'll
Oh,
do
both.
both. That's how I
Do you
ran
want
it
me to-
last time. Go ahead and draw for the burning hands first. And then I'm going to draw a black card to determine its effect. Huh. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna say you have quote-unquote disadvantage on your next attack roll. Which means draw 2 and we take the one we all agree is worse.
Okay, so I've gotten daddy issues so far.
Yeah, I think
Is that why you cried? No, not again.
And the pirate's life.
Okay, I meant for your next attack roll, not for this one.
Oh, I thought you meant this one.
Nope,
Okay,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
No worries. We'll put the pirate's life into the pile. But yeah, daddy issues. I think given everything that sort of works.
Yeah.
And
She cries as she remembers her father, who also died from being eaten by a sock.
pretty sure that's how it went. I don't know. Everyone was a little drunk. And or high. Yeah, I think it works. I think the sort of surcharge of magic does it. And the sock is blown away, leaving Rufio, Slayer of the Writhing Beast, and I will not say anything less than that full title. Standing atop the scientist, sword pointed at face.
Lance,
Lance pointed at face.
you defeated your beast. Now, take us to where we need to go.
My perfect creation.
Obviously, they weren't so perfect after all.
Yeah, you didn't even give them a chance.
Oh, I
It's hard
gave
to
them
give
a
a chance
chance.
to something that
We're
tries to
pumping.
eat you at its first instinct.
She wipes the tears from her eyes and looks over at them and yells, it's not the perfect socks. It's the perfect socks' monster.
The scientist gives you all a strange look and goes, "How did you even get into my lab anyway?"
There was a door.
What? And he sort of looks over and then says, "Where's my ominous staircase? It's supposed to be a grand going up the Citadel kind of... This isn't... No! No! And he looks like he goes through the door and looks just as confused as at what he sees as you are. Where the hell is this place?
Interesting. We appear to be dealing with some sort of teleportation place.
If my experience as knight has taught me anything, it's that to try doors until you arrive somewhere.
Sounds like a reasonable decision. The scientist looks at the lot of you and goes, "Can I go back to mourning my socks, please?"
Why not
Definitely.
wear them? Why not wear them?
So the scientist goes back into his laboratory, and
Before he does, I will take a bit of the perfect stock and make it into and knit it with the lance into a perfect sweater for the snail.
brilliant. I love it. Your snail seems slightly faster. You could still definitely beat it in a race, but that's beside the point. Now you have the fastest snail.
He was already the fastest snail.
Now he's the fastest
snail.
fasterest. So yes, the rest of the citadel lays before you, and now you know that the doors are not necessarily going to lead quite where you want, if you're not, looking at them carefully.
Perhaps this is a puzzle where one must follow the correct path, and if we end up back where we started, that means we took a wrong turn and need to do it Simon says until it works.
I'm gonna walk vertically up the wall and go to the next door up.
Sounds reasonable and cool. So let me just put that here. Let's
How
see.
do you do that? You're not a
I'm a
snail.
monk.
Okay, I keep drawing doubles.
I will follow along on a snail.
So I have a really crazy idea.
Uh-huh.
Okay, apparently this tower, this citadel with all these pathways and all these doors seems like magic.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's crazy talk.
what if I were to just use dispel magic on the tower?
Wouldn't
What
that
level
kill us
of
all?
magic does it dispel, though? Isn't like a specific level.
So, dispel magic, the way it officially works, is, let me pull it up on my list. So, you choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. Any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. For each spell of 4th level or higher on the target, make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. On a successful check, the spell ends.
So target all this magical bullshit, and if you're level 20, you don't need to care about the other stuff.
Pretty much. Although I think if you wanted to try anything in particular, you'd need to burn like a 9th level spell slot, which I don't know that artificers get.
No, they just go up to 5.
Yeah. So it would be a check, even if you burned your highest spell slot.
Okay, so it's a crazy idea that's too crazy to work.
It might work. It might.
Keep it when we look at something that actually is like, right in front of us and really weird, and then you can just
Yeah.
dispel that. Hopefully.
It might work, or it might turn everything into chocolate.
We can find out.
I had a companion canine with
Okay, instead,
he enjoyed chocolate.
Dr. Jean is going to try and research his way to a solution.
Okay. Let's see what your research turns up. Oh, I should probably flip it first and then put it on the stack. Oh boy! I have great news. This building is powered by a forsaken child.
Yes. I knew it.
Specifically,
But like the whole
Oh
thing,
no.
the whole thing, or parts.
the whole thing. The whole thing is powered by a fetus.
No, I mean the whole fetus, or
Child labor.
Child labor. The greatest crime of all. Probably most of a fetus. I think that's safe to say. That or this building is the fetus of some great horrifying monstrosity. Either option kind of sucks.
Could be both.
It could be both. but I don't like the idea of an Ouroboros of fetuses.
We are not the Borg.
So we'll leave it at powered by a fetus, with all of the horrifying detail that implies.
Wait a minute, isn't that the thing in Half-Life? The final boss?
I don't know. It's been a
Well,
really long
Fusion
time since
Core.
I've done Half-Life.
Alternatively, this is some kind of Death Stranding twist going on here.
Also possible, I guess. I haven't played enough Death Stranding to actually know what any twists are in the game. I just know.
I haven't played the game either. I'm just going based off the information that's publicly available.
Also true.
Overall, magical baby.
Anyhow.
Well, it could be the love child or fetus of someone who is making. Somebody had to make this castle.
Somebody had to.
Yeah. So maybe it's their baby.
What are you saying? If we want to get rid of the magic, we need to, a baby?
Like I said, let's not get into this. It's already a bit weird enough as is.
Yes. Let's proceed into the next room.
So Azure, sorry, my brain shorted out. Can you put his name in the chat? Because I don't think I actually got it on your sheet.
Right.
I'll
just send you DM.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I didn't get
My
either.
full title is also in the chat.
Irricool. Okay.
Irricool.
So Irricool, you, as you said, go up a wall and just open the next vertically available door, correct?
Yep.
There are no staircases leading to it, so perfectly reasonable decision. You open the door and it's a bar. It's just a bar, and there is a surly looking bartender, some sort of minotaur woman, you guess, and just the most depressed looking human bard you've ever seen slumped across the counter. He appears to have stacked at least 20 shots of something. He's got a nice little glass pyramid next to him, and he appears to be like idly pondering another drink.
I don't believe he's been drinking responsibly.
Probably not. No.
Can I approach the table?
I think y'all will need someone. The rest of y'all might need a way up first, because this is like a good 20 feet up, and there's no staircase.
Oh, I have a snail. So
You do
I
have a
can just-
snail. I guess you can get there, and your snail is faster now. Irricool, do you wait for the snail?
Yeah.
All right. Does anyone
I'll
else?
just stand in the doorway for a while.
And since I'm a adventurer like any other, I have a rope and I toss it down to the others. to use.
Oh, cool. I was about to just try scrambling along the wall, but I'll see the rope and take it and try to climb up with it.
What the?
Is this?
I just disconnected.
Yeah, it looks like you, Zarhon, and VerminQuest both disconnected.
It's the inclined timeout.
I guess.
Okay, so I think this happened to everyone.
I'm still here.
Yeah, Azure's still here. I sent you the link again, invite.
Yeah, send me.
Meanwhile, real fast, I just have to ask this question. How big is the rope?
Yeah.
Is it?
Probably
Good
very
question.
small.
It's a string.
Yeah. Then he's not
It's a
gonna
very
make it up
long
then.
string, but it's an actual string.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, you know this is not actually able to take your weight, but it's still a string.
And the
Oh,
Y'all have
Beautiful.
fun up there.
Irricool just does not have any supplies whatsoever.
makes sense.
He's just got his clothes.
Here's how I'm going to put it, because I don't want to just leave people out of things. You lower the string, and the door just starts shifting down. The wall seems to move until the full length of your string is like, you know, from the edge of the door to the floor, which is basically a step for everybody else. It seems it really was the thought that counted here. And the tower took pity on you.
I think I still fall down for a second, and then I like get back up and just like sheepishly walk up the steps, trying to look cool. Like,
sorry, what? Oh, it's still in the chat. It's in the tabletop roleplay chat on Discord. It's right above the Twitch link. It's the second one.
Okay,
I'm gonna delete the first one so nobody uses that one. Anyway, so yes, like
Finny was going to shoot an arrow with a rope and all that stuff, and as she sees the thing turn and start to come down, she's gonna be like, okay, apparently I don't need to, and so she puts everything away.
Yes, the tower is taking pity on you for the time being. It might not later.
So
She'll keep her rope.
You were gonna say something, Space Jawa?
So meanwhile, Dr. Jonk is still trying to, I guess, science his way through this situation, because clearly if he's able to figure out that this place is powered by a fetus,
yep,
he's dealt with this kind of thing before, and he knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah. The thing about it. The thing about it is, I really hate to say this, fetuses, especially common with dark magic. So, not that shocking.
So he's trying to take that information and try and detect, energy pathways so it can lead them straight to where they're supposed to go.
Okay. We will come back to that in a little bit, but we gotta let everyone else deal with the situation of the very sad bard. It looks
yes, like. I will roll insight using the empathic feat.
Okay.
So,
go
if
ahead.
I succeed.
If you succeed, yes.
All right. Yeah, it's opposing checks, deception versus insight.
Okay.
If I succeed, then I get advantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
All right, seems reasonable.
Against that target. So yes, the bard, insight.
All right, go ahead and draw.
Whilst he's doing that, I will order a glass of milk for myself and
crippling social anxiety.
Congrats!
Fitting.
You found his weakness. I'm gonna say that's a critical success. You were saying
yes.
What were you saying, Zarhon? I'll tell you the results in a minute, Azure.
I will order a glass of milk from the bartendress, and that's one. And second, I will ask the sad bard, "Hey, what's the matter?" I guess that's diplomacy, I guess, or something.
Yeah, yes, that is. I don't think you need to. I think that empathy roll seriously did it as far as figuring this guy out. So I won't make you roll for that particular thing. But yes, the Minotaur gives you a glass of milk. It's huge because she only has big glasses. It's basically a tiny swimming pool for you.
Could be a shot glass.
Even then, for a mouse, that would be pretty big. But the bard just sort of like slides his head over to sort of look at the both of you sideways and goes, "Oh, I'm just very disappointed in the way my life has gone."
Oh, tell me about it.
Well, I spent a really long time trying to just absolutely ruin everything. And then some dumbass brings along a big fancy castle and suddenly he introduces me to these dumb movies. And I can't. And he's just sort of devolving into sort of muffled just obscenities and just incoherent nonsense.
There, I pat him, I guess. I know it'll cheer you up, and I guess I pull out the Rod of Wonder.
Oh boy.
Watch this. And I shoot it like in somewhere behind him so that he can get entertained by a show of whatever will happen next.
So I'm gonna say that's a black card that happens for Rod of Wonder,
Okay.
and let's see what the two results are.
Dun dun dun.
Oh boy. I don't know how to feel about that. I
Racist Orlando Bloom.
I don't want to do racist Orlando Bloom. I
we
think
can replace the KKK.
I'm gonna replace the KKK. I'm
Yes,
just
with something wholesome.
okay. That you know what? It's more on theme. It's more on theme. I'm somehow more fine with that. The show is basically Magic Mike, but with oh my god, Legolas. That's his name. It's basically Magic Mike with Legolas and just way more dudes just having a good time. And it does in fact seem to cheer the bard up a little bit. He turns to you and goes, "Well, that really was something. Thank you. I appreciate it."
You're welcome. Anything for a fellow adventurer? Question mark.
It's a pretty big question mark, I think.
Anything for a fellow.
That too.
And he sort of like stands up, sort of, wobbly after the sheer amount of alcohol that he's drunk, and says, "If there's anything I could do for the lot of you, I'd be more than happy to help. I've got... You guys are doing the whole, like, storm the Citadel thing, right?"
Yep. Yes, so we would appreciate it if during a climatic encounter you would arrive in the nick of time to help us in some way.
Oh,
Or,
no.
tell us how to do things.
Oh,
Information.
It's a little difficult for me to say because, one, I'm a little drunk right now. I won't lie. I've had quite a bit of booze. Booze a haul.
Mr. Scientist, can you fix him up a hangover cure? Or drunkenness cure? Whatever.
I don't know that he's here right now.
I don't think Jean is.
Hey, Scientist! I go yell at the
Yeah, Junk
scientist
is out on the stairways trying to, determine a method of magically following a pathway or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's all very sciencey and all very off screen.
Exactly. The bard.
Finny is going up to the bartender to ask her what's going on with the guy.
The bartender pulls out a bottle of whiskey that says 140 proof.
That'll do it.
And she points to the stack of glasses and goes, "Yeah, he's been here for like 3 hours."
Wow.
Yeah, I thought he'd be dead by now too.
At least he's paying you, right?
Not yet.
I'd get on that if I were you.
Yeah, well, like I said, I thought he'd be dead by now and I could just take whatever he had on him.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Well, you probably still could, even if he's not dead, honestly.
Yeah, probably, but then he'd come back with questions. Plus, I'm not allowed to send anybody out on the street again nude after the last time.
Well, technically, the door doesn't lead to the street.
Well, he's not nude this time, so he should be fine.
She nods and says, "Yeah, I know. I can see the thing behind you. I have another door."
So your door leads somewhere that's normal, right?
I hope so. It's in a different part of the building, so I'm gonna assume everything's fine. If it's not, I'm gonna end up hurting somebody.
Yeah, don't go out that door. The one we came through. That's
Oh.
not a good door.
I'll do my best, thanks. And the bard had one other thing to say before we got all distracted a little bit, which was the other reason I don't think I could help you out very much is that this whole castle's sort of alone from another wizard type guy. I think his name is Greg. I don't know. He wasn't a very good mage. I think he's dead now.
Interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
that's good.
I look at the bartender and I go, "Hey, can I get your hardest milk to go?"
She
I think I'm swimming in it right now.
No, you're not in the hardest milk.
The hardest milk is just fully solid.
She sets down a big wheelie Gouda.
Thanks.
I would
And I
like your
pocket the
softest-
cheese.
I would like a thimble of your softest milk as well, please.
She looks at you weird, looks through her drawers for a thimble and attempts to pour milk into it, and it doesn't quite work. It just sort of spills.
An ordinary glass is okay then.
She again looks at you and goes, "You sure you can carry that?"
Can you one of you carry it for me?
The bard looks at you and goes, "You know what, little guy? I'd be more than happy to carry that weight. It ain't heavy. You're my friend." And proceeds to get a full glass of milk, and he's going to be traveling with you now.
Yeah,
Very drunk and
he
very
He
silent.
can carry me if needed.
Yes, you now have.
We've picked up our first NPC party member.
You sure have.
Who has
Our
now
friend
been
slash-
delegated to the mouse's mount.
Yes.
His unaware slave.
the
His
Secondary
mount.
mount.
the snail's mount.
Yep.
So the mount's mount.
Yes,
The mouse's mount's mount.
exactly.
The snail outranks him.
The snail definitely outranks him, which is weird because this guy definitely tried to destroy the world at one point.
Well, he failed.
Yes,
How
he
does a
did
bard
fail.
do that?
A bard does it by
Music.
trying his best.
I mean, that's why he failed, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Anyways, I am going
Tried
to
to make everything fail so hard he failed himself.
exactly. So let's see how good the attempt at figuring out a pathway went. I have great news, Jonk. You found the tiger pit.
What's the bad news?
You found the tiger pit.
Well, that's something.
It sure is. How would you like to deal with the fact that you're alone in a tiger pit?
Oh, I accidentally wound up in a tiger pit.
Yes.
Yep.
Do the
Perhaps
rest
the
of us
floor
here-
fell out from under you.
do the
Hey,
rest
take
of us
my-
here-
I take
Let
my
me-
eyes off of him for 2 seconds and he ends up in a tiger pit.
Yep.
Do the rest of
Yes.
us hear ominous growling?
Let me see.
Also, the floor didn't fall out. The ceiling did.
Ah, of course.
And Jonk went up. So, yeah. How would you like to deal with Burmese tiger pit, buddy?
Let me see. I'm looking up.
And yes, the rest of you do in fact hear the telltale sounds of a Burmese tiger pit.
Above us.
Yes.
Someone's in danger.
Down the hall and above you.
Okay, so
I'm
As-
getting my
as-
bow out.
as
I'm over
an-
there very quickly.
as an let me double check. All right, as an artillerist, I have at my disposal the ability to create a wall of fire, and it says I can do a ringed version. So Jonk is going to deploy something that will create a wall of fire to contain the tigers.
Okay, let's see how this
Will it
goes.
be around you or?
I guess we'll find out in a moment, won't we? The you pull out a shiny rock that proves I love you, and the plan works perfectly. The wall of fire surrounds and protects you in its entirety. You are still stuck in a tiger pit.
Do tigers have a spoken language?
Excellent question. In this tower? Let's roll. Heads they do, tails they don't. They don't!
Hmm.
Do they have an animal language that I, as an animal, would understand?
They don't.
They have no language.
Right. Well, they do, but I don't think you speak Burmese.
They require culture.
Okay, so while that wall of fire is keeping the tiger back,
Tigers, plural.
keeping the tigers back, he's going to deploy his signature, the artillerist's signature technique, which is deploying a pair of eldritch cannons.
All
Are they
right.
rocket jumping?
This sounds like a rocket jump, yes.
No, they're here.
He's going to cannon the tigers.
Oh, you're going to try and kill the
Oh.
tigers. I don't know why I expected something else. All right, yeah, we can find out what how that happens, but first let's get everyone else over there.
No,
yes, I may get there in
I'm saying
one
it's
round, maybe
it's a
two.
I'm saying it's a technique that's part of the artillerist's package. He can the eldritch cannon, and then he can make two of them with fortified position. So
okay, so you're making these cannons now.
Well, or deploying them, however you want to say it. I mean,
Okay, they're not firing.
the way
right
it says
now.
it.
He's the engineer from TF2,
Got it.
but with 2 turrets.
Okay.
Yes, I mean it says eldritch cannon at 3rd level. You learn how to create a magical cannon using woodcarver's tools or smith's tools. You can take an action to magically create a small or tiny eldritch cannon in an unoccupied space on a horizontal surface within 5 feet of you.
Okay. Sounds good.
And I can determine its appearance and whether it has legs.
Neat.
So I can make walking cannons.
I don't know if that's the case because legs can refer to things that don't move, like a tripod,
Or a table.
or a table, or a chair.
Or a bathtub.
I don't know for certain. I'd have to look
no,
at
it
it.
says no as part of the same as part of a. I mean, there says on each of your turns you can take a bonus action to cause the cannon to activate if you are within 60 feet of it. As part of the same bonus action, you can direct the cannon to walk or climb up to 15 feet to an unoccupied space, provided it has legs.
Okay, in that case, it is those kind of legs. All right.
Sapient Pearwood rules.
Yes. Alrighty. But yes, I think all of you would be able to get there fairly fast. So what would you all like to do? And let's start with VerminQuest. What would you like to do?
Yeah.
Renadriel?
I walk over and I look upward and I go, "What the hell are you doing up there?" And then I just cast telekinesis to try to pull him back down.
All right. Go ahead and draw two times. Draw 2 cards, I mean, and we'll pick the worst one from aforementioned disadvantage. And wild magic will trigger.
Just hit F.
F is just flip.
Yeah, because they were down. So flip them
I
face
think
up.
we were pressing them at the
Oh,
same time, so
okay.
I flipped it twice.
Huh. Between the two of those, I think the worst is the Oreos pizza.
Why not combine them into a pizza tournament?
Oh God. But
It's
I
a
mean,
medieval times dinner and a tournament.
yeah, or
Tigers are part of the tournament,
that's true.
and the prize is the pizza,
All right,
the
which
Oreo
is
dessert.
okay. I guess let's do a vote real fast on which one is the worst. uh,
I know which one I would pick.
all right. How many vote for medieval times dinner and tournament?
I'm gonna vote for that one.
That's one.
Me for times.
Yep.
How do I?
I guess so.
All right, that's three. That's technically a well, it's not a majority, but
Yeah.
for the given amount of people, I think.
My reasoning is the telekinesis backfires, and instead of Jean going down, Sorcerer goes up
Oh, I figured
into the tournament.
also a good idea, but how about we reverse the script a little bit? What if instead of pulling Jonk out, you pull a tiger out?
Yeah, that's good too.
So now there is Jonk versus tigers up above, and tiger versus all of you down below. As
Well, that
above,
tiger
so below.
is-
As per tournament rules, I challenge you to a joust.
Okay, I love
You
it.
knew I was going to do this.
Yep. Go ahead and draw. What does that even mean here?
It's a chimera.
It wasn't.
It is now.
It is now. I think the wild magic had an effect on it.
It's true, that should have done a wild magic. so
Yeah,
that
you're
must have
right.
been
Yeah, I think that's the.
It starts shooting sex snakes out of its mouth, I guess.
Oh boy, I don't think you're prepared for that.
Let's.
I mean, flying sex snakes are, or whatever those are something wriggly in multitudes, right?
Yes,
Which
they
I've had experience with.
yes, yeah.
Feeling.
Rufio, Slayer of the Wriggling Multitude, could in fact be his new title. What a wild title that would be.
No, it just adds to the existing one.
True. Well, yeah, Rufio, Slayer of the Writhing Beast and the Wriggling Horde. Oh man, I think you are prepared for it. I don't think your bard mount for your snail mount is, and I think he goes flying backwards, and you are dropped. You managed to kill one of the snakes on the way down, but the tiger is still there.
Dang, I was hoping he'd throw me towards the tiger.
No,
If that's an area of effect thing with projectiles.
I don't think it's an area of effect. I think this is some very directed snakes.
Darts.
So we're just off to the side.
Yeah, I think y'all just watched as a man got attacked by a bunch of effectively face huggers.
And
That's horrifying.
you see me demolish one of the snakes.
Yes. Finny, what would you like to do?
So there's snakes and a tiger.
Yes.
Right.
On your level, yes, and above you, more tigers.
Huh. That's a interesting choice of which to shoot at, because seriously, I would take out the snakes, and I don't think there is much of a threat. She's probably going to end up putting trying to shoot the tiger.
Okay.
But distracted by the snakes.
Fair enough. It's like that old saying goes, caught between a tiger and more tigers.
Yeah.
I mean, use AoEs, then you hit both.
Do I have AoEs?
As a
I have a bow.
As a fighter, no, but you do have multi attacks as a fighter.
True.
Yes,
I do. I do have that.
So the card drawn was a buttload of candy. I think you successfully distract the tiger and the snakes.
Wrong arrow.
Yes, wrong. The candy arrows were not a good idea. Except
No.
they were also the best idea. The
pinata arrows are working well.
I was wanting them for later.
my rations.
Hmm.
So
I take a nibble out of cheese puff.
So the it works to an extent, and the monsters are suitably distracted. Irricool, I believe it is your turn to try something out.
All right. So I'm going to punch the tiger down here, and then I'm going to walk up the wall to where Jonk is
Okay,
and punch another tiger.
sounds reasonable. Go for it.
Winking at old people.
I think the tiger is more confused than damaged.
Well, just wait till my next action.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you still have your other one if you want.
Right. So that's the tiger down there. It's confused.
Yep.
And hospice care.
Yeah, I think the other one is.
Combo.
I think you punched the other tiger inside out
Oh god.
Well,
somehow.
Mm.
There are still 2 more tigers up there, but that is 1 less tiger than there previously was.
theoretically, I am very difficult to hit.
Yes, theoretically. I don't want to deal with theoretical tigers, though.
Yeah.
So, Jonk, Doctor. Well, actually, I guess the tigers should attack now. Let's see how that goes.
Oh god.
Oof.
Oh man, that bard is having a really bad day.
I think one of them tried to attack the mouse while he was in jousting mode.
Possibly.
I think it was one of the snakes.
I think, as I said, I think the snake got a hold of the bard. So that's unpleasant. Oh, that one just works. I think.
Venom.
No, I don't think venom on you. I think you literally just get tossed in the air, Rufio, Slayer of the Writhing Beast. And I think you're now floating between the 2 zones of gravity.
He can
I
fly.
tried to
he can
swim
fly,
towards-
He can fly. He can fly. He can fly.
I tried to swim, so to speak, towards one of the tigers so that when gravity resumes, normally I pretty much am plunging towards its lance.
Sounds reasonable. Irricool, I think you see one of the tigers go, "Holy shit, he fucked up Dave." And the other one said, "Dave, no!" Not that you can understand it. It all comes across as roars. And you
not speaking.
You get a little slammed. I think you get a little messed up. Not lethally. Again, I think it's more confusing than anything else. And let's see how Final Tiger reacts. I think other Tiger is just sad about Dave. So, Jonk, Dr. Jonk, I'm sorry, I should use your full title. I assume cannons?
Yes, he didn't acquire his doctorate for nothing.
That's true. I apologize. Jonk MD, what would you like to do?
Well, the wall of fire is still up.
Magical doctor.
Magical doctor.
Exactly. Yeah. The wall of fire is still up, yes.
Well, he kind of has to wait there then, because he's got his 2 cannons. He's got a wall of fire between him and, or can he disperse that?
You could probably disperse it, or just fire through it. I don't see why. It's just fire. It's bad for physical things, but I imagine it won't mess up arcane energy too much, or bullets.
Well, he'd made them both of the force ballista type.
Okay.
So
I guess launch bullet. Let's.
yes, make a ranged spell attack originating from the cannon at one creature or object within 120 feet of it. And if it hits, it's okay. But yes, he will. There are two active tigers in the pit.
Yes.
He will have an eldritch cannon fire at each of them.
Let's find out if tigers are weak to bullets.
Or what they're shooting.
Oh. Okay. I think the way both of those can be read is fucked up. So I think the arrows are just sort of pinging, the ballista charges are on fire and just sort of pinging around the area. I don't think they hit their target, but you've made them really well and they're not stopping. So now when I draw, I'll be drawing for 2 arrows. The tigers definitely look even more confused. So that's cool. VerminQuest. What would you like to do?
I look at the tiger that's shooting out the sex snakes, and I'm like, oh no, put those back.
Put that
and
thing
I
back where it
cast
came
fireball.
Oh.
I cast fireball and launch it into that tiger and the mess of snakes.
Oh boy,
And
wild
that's, wild magic.
Sure is. Go ahead and draw. I'll draw on the table. It's just one for the actual spell, and I will draw to figure out what the table looks like. I think that works. I think given the just generally positive nature of free ice cream, that works.
I feel like it wasn't a fireball.
I
It
think
was instead a ball of ice cream.
I think so, but I think it works because, as it turns out,
Cats are
it's a
lactose
ball of
intolerant?
flaming ice cream, so it both hits you with cold and heat at the same time.
yeah. Plus, snakes are cold-blooded, so that will surely stop them in their tracks.
Freeze.
And tigers hibernate? I don't think
They might also be lactose intolerant.
Also true. Additionally, it could just be the fact that maybe the ice cream has something in it that's toxic to cats. There's a lot of those.
Although
It could also be very large and heavy.
Also true. So I think that works. And the card I drew for your wild magic effect was gladiatorial combat. So
So are they now in the pit?
No. I think the way I'm going to treat this is you have entered a barbarian's rage.
Huh.
Okay.
I
raise my longsword up there and I scream. And then I guess I start running towards the tigers. I don't think I get another action.
I don't think you do. But I think I think you're going to be in the rage for a little bit after combat too.
Yeah. Now we can see that impressive swordplay.
That very, very impressive swordplay. All right. So I think the tiger and snakes are finished with. So that just leaves the tigers in the pit and the arrows that are sort of flying around it. Rufio, Slayer of the Writhing Beasts. What is it you would like to do now?
Like I said, I would try to swim, use the gravity thing to swim towards the pit, and then when gravity is restored, I will basically turn into a lance-like missile that pierces into one of the tigers.
Got it. You're down airing. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and draw. We'll see how well that works.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that works. I'm gonna say
Do I
that works.
Extinction them? Do I extinction them?
No, because you're the dinosaur. I think you obviously you're not actually turning into a dinosaur, but you are basically turning into the chief predator of this zone, and you just ram straight through one of the tigers, like a tiny rod from God.
I go through the brain and out the other end.
Precision
Yeah.
lobotomy.
Yeah.
Does the impact leave a tiny crater behind on the floor?
It does. It really does. And also
I
on the
scream a war
ceiling.
cry to show the other tigers I'm boss now.
The sole remaining tiger.
Yep,
Finny, what would you like to
because I
do?
need more mounts.
I just realized I have animal handling as being proficient in it.
You sure did. Would have been a good would have been
So-
good like 10 minutes ago.
I know. I think it was the snakes. That's the one animal I don't handle very good.
Please tell me we're going to adopt the last tiger.
Well, I was thinking she would go into a roar of a sort to kind of establish dominance over the last tiger.
Oh boy. Sure,
You know.
go for it.
Roar!
So badly, given what cards.
So again, whoops, it flipped over. Whoops, what the heck? That's
No, that
weird.
was a different one.
Orb.
Just went through it.
Yeah, there we go. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. I think some of the cards are stacked weird.
Yeah, it's because some of the cards are face down and some of them are face up, so they're technically two different stacks, I guess.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that might be the case. I've been putting my stacks face down, so let me lift up. There we go. I have fixed it. So the card drawn was a mysterious floating orb. And I'm going to interpret that as a moderate success. So you establish dominance over this tiger who is backing down in this pit, looking very confused. There's still two ballista bullets or ballista arrows just sort of firing randomly in this zone, pinging wildly off the walls. But the tiger is sitting there like a good boy. And I'm going to say that mysterious floating orb is rising up. Damn it, I can't think of all the lyrics. It's the eye of the tiger, basically.
Ah.
I completely lost. I'm normally so good with lyrics, and just for whatever reason, they're all gone. It's just all gone in my head. The thrill of the fight.
So, like, the two ballista shots collide and form into an eye of the tiger thing.
Oh, the orb is an eye of a tiger.
It's not literally the eye of a tiger.
It
It's
looks
a
like the
tiger
disembodied
eye.
flaming tiger eye.
Thingy.
You know what? I'll go with that. I will go with that, and we'll say that this particular combat set is finished.
Huzzah.
And you have the poor bard is sort of lying on the ground, writhing in pain. But you do have a tiger now, if you can get it down from the ceiling, and Jonk also, and
Well, the cannons can climb, so Jean can ride one of the cannons.
okay.
Before you do that, I'll shoot an arrow with a rope on it, and you can tie it around my tiger, and I'll pull him down.
I'll join you with the rope. Although
I
I'm
just-
noting that my bard appears to be unwell. Is anyone a healer?
Let's see. Dr. Jean has both
Excellent, do it.
revivify and cure wounds.
Excellent, do
You
both.
you sure do.
As this is going on, I will scream and run like full speed towards whatever the nearest thing that looks like a door is.
You got it. We will cover the ramifications of that shortly.
And I just walked down the wall.
Sounds good. Let's see how that cure wounds goes real fast.
I guess it works.
Yes!
It's restored.
What a perfect like counterpoint to the earlier draw. I love when that happens.
I have not seen this yet.
It's early. The earlier wound was the sudden penis removal, and the cure wounds was these nuts. So yes, success there. Perfect. So yes, you were Renadriel, you are charging towards the nearest door. Correct?
Yes, in a fit of rage.
All right. You kick this door open, and you immediately, through your, raged, the fog of rage, you can tell this looks important. It's a big throne room, and sitting on it is the biggest skeleton man you've ever seen in your life, which is saying something because you have seen many a big skeleton man in your life. This one's a good 8-9 feet tall, wrapped in this sort of black cloth and metal armor with these enormous glowing blue flamed eyes, and he seems to be waiting on the rest of your party to sort of enter the fray.
Now imagine if we got daddy issues for this one instead of the previous one.
Yeah, also true. So, how y'all want to proceed with this?
Let's just walk in there.
Jonk is basically going to enter the room, standing astride the two walking cannons, kind of like Jack Sparrow riding a pair of sea turtles.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
I will have my bard carry me whilst I am jousting in his hand.
All right, makes sense. So
The tiger is next to me, and I got my bow out.
All right, perfect.
And I'm in the back.
Makes sense. Sitting before you, I guess I should say, because he is on a big throne, is what you would take a wild guess is perhaps some sort of lich. And he says, "So, at last, you have come to the heart of my cursed citadel."
We have?
Yes?
Is that 4 doors?
You only went through 3 doors?
Something like that.
Some people have all the luck. Regardless, you have entered the heart of my cursed citadel.
I joust him while he's talking.
Hey! Stop it! You're supposed to get me out of here!
We are? Not kill you?
Yes, the quest was to brave the Spire of Night and bring forth its terrible master.
It didn't say alive, did it?
Do I look alive to you?
Alive anyway.
So
No,
what's
that's
the problem?
true.
Get out of the chair and get out of the chair already.
Yes, I've tried. I have tried. I can leave the chair and I can walk around this place, but I can't leave physically.
So what happens if we get you out of this place?
I'm not in a cursed citadel anymore.
Can we push him out the door?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm gonna use flurry of blows and then do the strength saving throw. If it fails, push it up to 15 feet away from you.
All right.
So, position them at the door, and then punch them out of the door.
Okay, let's see how that goes.
I'm proficient in perception as well, so at some point I'd like to see if there's something I can see.
Being popular and good at sports sounds like a success to me.
I think you push him out the door, but you out of the door and into the sort of main area. But the big doors that you went through earlier are gone. And he says, "See? This is what I'm talking about." Jeez. I hate living in this cursed place.
I'd like to try to use jousting to create a door.
Okay.
by pretty much demolishing the wall.
Go for it. The Lich is going to say, by the way, how exactly did you all deal with the curse?
What curse?
The curse of the... It's a cursed citadel. I just mentioned that.
And what is the curse?
You don't know
No
what the
one
curse
told us.
is.
No.
He just knows this place is powered by a child.
At the mention of the curse, by the way, I think, with a Hodor, no, the walls hold. The door is held shut. Let me go ahead and, initiate the full curse now that it has been spoken aloud. So, you find, exiting out of all of the various doors, you find Batman? A man dressed as a bat of some kind. You see a large man in a red suit wielding an enormous sack. You see some sort of human man in a powdered wig holding some sort of weird-looking stick, you guess? And he appears to have a small army behind him. Some sort of chef, you guess? And just sort of, like, ominous presences exiting out of the other doors. One of which is a cat? Just like a very small cat that somehow fills you with just absolute dread.
Not me.
And the Lich looks at the lot of you and goes, "You didn't deal with the curse, you idiots."
Well, no one told us what it was.
We just went for free doors.
You didn't think to look up what a curse in this cursed citadel might be? It's in the freaking name! You know what?
There's a manual.
You know what? It's fine. It's fine. I'm going to sit over here and let you deal with it. And hope to whatever Dark Lords I might that you actually succeed. Ah, adventurers. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening around you. What would you all like to do?
I will focus on the cat. You deal with the others. And I would joust it as is obvious.
Who would like to deal with other things?
I'll turn and I'll look at the man in the red suit, and my eyes will flash with rage again, and I point my sword, leveling at him, and I go, "You!" And then I run towards Santa.
Perfect.
Did he kill your dad?
No, we established a sock did that.
Okay, you said there was
what is associated with Christmas? Stockings.
Ah, you're right.
George Washington's army and Batman?
George Washington's army, Batman, and the chef, and just a dread feeling.
You said there was... Okay, so on the army, Jonk is going to create an ice storm.
Okay, we will get to that. I just want to organize who's going up against what.
I guess I'll punch Batman.
Okay. I believe that leaves
I'll take a cook.
You'll take the chef, and I guess the dread feeling will just sort of be there.
I mean, I can always just stillness of mind and...
True, you might be able to just deal
it.
with it. You might just be able to deal with it. All right. Jonk, it sounds like you're the one who had the most immediate sort of plan, so while everyone else thinks about how they would like to deal with their situation, you're casting an ice storm, correct?
Yes, he is going to deploy a weather machine that will create an ice storm over the emerging army.
I don't like using the ones with real people, so I'm going to skip that one. That works.
That fits with cold.
Yeah, I guess. You sure give them some cold sores. They however, this is Washington's army, who very famously dealt with some cold before. And you hear him say, "Hold, men, this storm can't last forever." As they appear to be aiming what you recognize, what you and probably only you recognize as guns in your general direction. Who would like to go next?
I'll punch Batman, do flurry of blows, and use a key point to make them not take reactions.
Sounds good. Let's see what you draw.
Existing.
I mean, yeah. I think that sort of means like no selling. I think you punch Batman, but it just sort of like neither of you really take any damage or exhaustion.
Yeah.
I think you just sort of.
Or you disprove his existence?
Is his body now quivering with small vibrations?
How about I flip a coin to find out? Heads
All
he
right.
is, tails he isn't. It's in a weird spot. He is not.
Well, that didn't work.
Nope, unfortunately not.
I'll try again next time.
Yep. Yeah, assuming you get it next time.
Oh.
You probably will though. So let's go with who would like to go next?
I'll run in with my sword drawn and try to just like slash randomly without any like intention or like any real direction at Santa.
And you don't have proficiency, correct?
Exactly.
Disadvantage. Draw 2 and we'll pick the worst one. I think the worst one is Russian super tuberculosis. If I had to take a wild guess.
For him or Santa?
I think for Ren. I think she might be the one dealing with not with Russian super tuberculosis, basically.
So what happens with that? Coughing up blood?
Presumably. I think basically what happens is Santa blocks with his bag and goes, "Ho ho ho! I have a gift for you!" And as the bag sort of bursts open, you get sprayed with this foul-smelling chemical, and you can feel your lungs sort of like not collapsing, but you feel bad. You feel real bad.
And you're no longer speaking in a comprehensive language.
You understand the tiger perfectly.
Not the Russian?
No, no. Okay, so that's 3. Who would like to go next? We got Rufio, Slayer of the Writhing Beast, and Finny.
I will go, and since I'm already mid-joust and being held by a bard, I'm going to have the bard throw me at the cat with my mount,
Okay.
so that we may together enable a combo jousting attack.
Sounds
against the
good.
cat.
Go ahead and draw.
Well,
You get thrown with more speed than you are capable of dealing with, is how I'm going to say it. Although I guess speed is
Isn't that
something
good?
else. It isn't when you're not in control and you just sort of sail past. I think you just sort of go right past this little cat.
Squeak.
So
Like it.
you sort of splat against a wall in a comical but not painful fashion.
Ow.
All right. So Finny, I believe you're next, right?
Yep, with the cook. Or
Yes.
chef, or
Yes.
what is he doing?
Gesticulating wildly with what looks like a meat cleaver.
Okay, well, she's got proficiency in perception, so I'm going to try to see what he's... if this is a normal action for him being a cook, that he's got to talk with his hands and slash
Mm-hmm.
meat cleaver, or if he's actually threatening me.
Or the borky, borky, bork.
Bork, the bork, the bork. The borky bork. Now I'm fighting the Swedish chef.
You're fighting more than
That
this.
card,
Count is listening.
I feel like that card implies the talking with the hands.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
does. You can tell that this is not a threat. It's something worse. He's coming on to you.
Well, he can cook.
Who said this was a curse?
Okay. You do. I'll say it's it's a success of you do understand his intentions. You can't understand him, but you do understand his intentions. It's just a matter of, do you accept these advances?
I'll have
Okay.
to think about it.
All right. So let me so here is let's go ahead and do the sort of reactions from the enemies. Okay. So this was for Washington, so how the heck am I going to justify this one? I think we'll use it as some sort of metaphor for the muskets don't quite
He
fire
hatches
right.
a plan.
Damn, that's good, and I wish I'd thought of it.
You established a political party.
Well, Washington actually said no political parties, so that's it. And I don't want to get into history. I don't want to get into history. I do not want to get into any more history. Bleh. Regardless, I think we will go with he's hatching a plan, and you see him direct his army into strategic locations around the sort of area as they ready their muskets. They're not attacking yet, but this will give them some advantage on attacking everybody next turn. Whoops, I picked up the whole deck. Let's see how Batman goes.
Ugh.
Well,
Yeah, you're an elf, so...
Should we
You-
maybe
you hear the word-
use one of my cards?
No, this is fine. You hear the words, "I'm Batman." You are now charmed.
all right.
So, you will have to deal with that. Let me
now
just
his best friend.
double check the charmed rules. So you will not be able to attack Batman, I believe. Nor target
No.
him with harmful abilities or magical effects. But that is all Batman does.
That doesn't mean you can't kill him by being his friend.
True enough.
Well, or I can spend a turn getting rid of that.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, so who's mom?
This would be Santa's attack on Ren.
Ah.
Your mom.
Yeah.
Your mother is very disappointed in you.
You are getting some wild flashbacks to your childhood, Ren. Of your mother telling you about the evils of the Red Man and his sack of vengeance. And it is dealing some crippling emotional damage to you.
But she's already raging, isn't she? So
Yes. So I think this is like I said, crippling emotional damage. You are still physically fine though.
So real quick, I just came to a realization.
Mhm.
The black card for Santa was, instead of coal, Santa now gives bad children blank.
Yes,
And the card that was used was
Russian super tuberculosis. Yes.
So yeah,
It fits.
it does.
Oh God.
Is that
This
for
is
the cat?
This is for the cat.
something pelt.
It's gross. It's a pretty gross one, I won't lie.
It's a stinky kitty.
Yeah, it is. And I think your mousy senses are getting sort of overwhelmed. I think you have disadvantage on your next attack.
All right.
And then so this is a critical failure, I think, on the chef's part, as an irate woman wielding a meat cleaver of her own kicks open the door behind the chef, and you hear an argument starting in you just hear that, and they appear to be fighting each other with the meat cleavers now. So
Backs out slowly.
Problem solved.
Problem solved temporarily, unless they can resolve their differences.
So does the ominous feeling of dread get a turn?
It does. It sure does. And here is what the ominous feeling of dread, it starts to manifest physically as well as verbally. And you hear, "Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam."
No.
Eh?
That's all you hear for right now. Back up to the top. Dr. Jonk, how would you like to deal with this?
Okay, tell me if this is a viable option. Now they're like on an elevated position. Like
They're all over the place. Yeah, the army is.
could I create a wall of force angled in such a way as would cause them to all slide off and drop to below?
No, that's a stupid idea in this game I've been running. Yes, of course you can, dude. It's fine.
Okay, yes, I am going to use wall of force to, create ramps that they all slide to out, so they're out of the fight.
Again, I don't like the real people ones. Unless it's like a historical figure. Hey!
So they slide into Santa.
Yeah, they slide into Santa. So I think, I think that will cancel out your disadvantage on your attack, Ren.
Plus, I've also got the 2 cannons still, which I can use.
You sure do. Would you like to fire them off?
Is there any place in particular where we can see like the dread?
Right now, no. It's just one of the doors is very slowly opening.
Okay, the cannons, gonna have them both target. How about the dog pile that is formed of Santa and the soldiers?
Sounds good. Both firing?
Yes, firing on the group.
All right. And Zarhon, you were asking something?
Yes, when they knock into Santa, do they all get tuberculosis from him?
Yes. Yes, they do. Okay, so here's what happens. Your arrow does in fact strike true and does hit one of the soldiers. And the other one sort of pings around again and does minimal damage to a lot of them. So yes. Mild success for both of those.
Where's George Washington in all this?
He is making his plans, trying to figure out how to recuperate from this devastating mall Santa accident. accident, I say. So yes, I believe it is Irakul next.
Yes, I will use my action
Mm-hmm.
to use Stillness of Mind,
Mm-hmm.
which ends one effect causing me to be charmed or frightened.
Yes.
So I will stop being charmed by Batman.
Sounds reasonable. I think it's the
And we'll
hardest thing you've ever done.
I should be able to pull it off.
Yes.
And then I will spend a key point to use Patient Defense, which lets me use the dodge action as a bonus action.
Sounds reasonable. All
So,
right.
do
Red.
I draw for any of that?
No, I won't make you. I won't make you draw to determine whether or not those
All right.
effects are pretty much just like it happens.
Maybe for the defense when it happens.
Yeah, for that, but that's different. Ren, you are powered by rage and memories of your dear departed mother, who warned you of the Red Man and his sack of terror.
Okay. I look at Santa and I say, this is exactly what happened that night years ago when you killed my father and took his job. And then I am going to raise my sword and slash at him again.
I don't even know who you are. Go ahead and draw. Or can you not? Or oop, there we go. Oh no!
This will either resolve everything or ruin everything.
So I feel like maybe Santa gets sent back into the past.
Yeah.
And that's what
Santa
causes
is your dad.
the issue.
I think
Santa?
I think they are the reason their father died by sending Santa to the past.
I think what's more, man, I really want to do something else dumb here, if I may, and you can. I will
Go
let
ahead.
y'all veto this.
Please do something dumb.
The sword strike hits true, and Santa looks you dead in the eyes and goes, "I'm so proud of you, my daughter." And you see Santa's form fade as the suit sort of collapses around him, Santa Claus style. And in those final moments, you see the face of your father. And he says very quietly, "Now you will take on my legacy."
And I get Santa Claused into Santa, I guess.
You don't.
So
You have
my-
access to his bag now.
Oh, okay.
His bag
Yeah,
full of super
does she-
tuberculosis.
So
Does
no,
she have to give super tuberculosis, or is she a different Santa?
Different Santa. It's slightly different than Santa Claus rules.
okay. So also though, I want to use a sorcery point.
Yes.
Well, actually, 2 sorcery points to convert the casting of a spell with 1 action casting time to a bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to look at all of the soldiers that got knocked into where Santa was as I step back. And I'm going to go, "You've all been very bad, boys and girls." And I'm going to cast Meteor Storm. Swarm.
Sick. Actually sick.
These
Oh, whoops.
poor soldiers.
Here, sorry, you can draw. I keep losing track of who is and who isn't in here.
These poor soldiers.
Well,
I think both. I think they are now very hot and feeling emotions.
Perfect.
Wild magic!
Activates wild magic.
I'll go ahead and draw for this one. Let's see. I'm going to use this instead.
it was so
You know what? I'm just going to say the effect doubles. George Washington's army is blown to cinders. That was metal. Well, old Georgie is still around, but that was metal.
I cannot tell a lie. I chopped down your army tree.
Oh, yeah. Dang it. I'm sorry, Zarhon. I should have gone with that proposal. Sorry about that. So yes, that was your very metal turn. What would you like to do now, Rufio, Slayer of the Writhing Beast, against this gross cat?
All right. I will ask the bard if he can, if he has any hair care or other products to spray the cat with to try and neutralize the smell, and then I will lance it. I mean, he's a bard. He has to groom himself somehow, right?
He does, but he is also very sad.
And drunk.
Yes, also that.
Doesn't a cat fix both of those? Well, not the drunk, but the sad part.
All right. Let me draw for the bard. No, I left it in my other pants.
Ah. Well, I suppose I'll have to do this myself then.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I should have done his voice. Whoops. So yes, you have disadvantage on this attack. Once again, giving birth to the Antichrist shows up in my game.
Versus the evidence of God.
Is this the dread?
I think.
The
Okay.
I hope the cat does the second one.
Okay, here is what happens. You see the cat. You attempt to strike it, and you do strike true. But as you puncture the cat, you hear a sound that is odd. It's like the hissing of air escaping something. And the cat falls to the ground and begins to turn this brilliant shade of orange with black stripes. And it loses some of its more animalistic features. And then it rises. A big, horrifying, vacant smile on its face. And he says, "You've released me from my prison. Boy, are you gonna hate Mondays."
Oh.
Garfield.
You have summoned Garfield.
The ultimate Antichrist.
Using this previous cat's body as a catalyst, you have accidentally summoned Garfield, the Antichrist. So
The anti-cat.
Ironically, it is Monday right here.
Yes, it is. The anti-mice, I guess I should say. I believe we'll come back to that in a minute. Finny, your turn.
Is my cook still messing with the next door neighbor's wife or something?
Yes, that still appears to be the situation.
Okay, so if they're still busy, I'm going to back away from them and try to see what this darkness is up to.
I vote we just close the door.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, as you get closer to this door with the darkness sort of escaping from it, it begins to feel extremely cold, as though you are approaching sort of the vacuum of space. It gets harder to breathe, and the voice gets louder to you specifically, and it says, Hey, you, what you gonna do? Hey, you, what you gonna do?
Close the door.
Go for
I
it.
feel like you should slam the door.
There you go.
I'm so glad that one of the cards I drew in my hand was Space Jam. Whoops, I zoomed out really far. Go ahead and draw, I guess, for...
You're gonna jam that door into the open
think-
space.
Yep.
Swest isn't in the game.
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I spat out my tea, and I've been dealing with that.
Oof.
Because this game is so dumb, and I love it.
Sounds like there was a trap on the door.
I think you grab that handle ready to slam it shut, and a surge of electricity goes
Ow.
through your entire body.
Ouch.
And you are certainly capable of dealing with it. It's gonna hurt, but you're not dead. But boy howdy, does it sting.
That woke me up.
Yep. The Lich from his position down in the sort of main area is going, "You're doing a great job! Just wonderful, all of you!" So I guess
Thanks.
so I guess it's time to move on to the enemies. So first things first, Washington. I think he's gonna make a last stand here, and he's gonna fire his musket at Jonk. Ooh,
Oof, that's
that's a crit. Oh
maximal
boy,
insertion.
yeah. I think
Bayonets you?
I think he. No, because I still think they're a ways away from each other. But these are some big musket balls, and I think it hits true. I think it's stuck in you now, and you can feel both one immense pain from this bullet that is lodged somewhere in your chest cavity, and the slow and agonizing release of lead into your bloodstream.
Yeah, that does sound painful.
Yeah, I think that hurts bad.
Visiting your doctor?
So let's see how Batman reacts.
And if they're attacking me, they have disadvantage.
I think, isn't that like a crit fail since Batman doesn't shoot anyone?
He has shot people before, is the thing. It's
And also,
I mean, it really depends
well-
on what version of Batman it is.
true.
so
enough.
he's not shooting.
No,
me,
he's shooting the
'cause I'm not a
wizard.
wizard.
He's shooting the wizard.
I'm a sorcerer.
That's the thing. I don't.
Well, maybe the Lich is a wizard.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, yes, the Lich would be a wizard.
Oh.
So he just shoots the Lich.
Yeah, I think he shoots the Lich. And you see the Lich sort of like grasp at the area, and he goes, "Oh God damn it!" And you see, apparently there's a little phylactery that is now rolling across the floor that the Lich is scrambling after. So, now it is Santa's done, so it's Garfield. And Garfield has Unfathomable Stupidity as the card. You hear, Odie! And you hear a rumbling bark coming from the door behind you. Rufio, Slayer of the Writhing Beast. You have a turn before Odie shows up. And now, oh no! Ooh. I think the chef's mother comes through the door next. This has turned into a whole big thing.
No madre.
This is a whole like soap opera happening in one corner of this
Yeah.
building.
I think we can say that the chef is now officially out of combat.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
the chef is out of combat.
Yeah,
We're out
just
of
close
commission.
that door.
Yeah, I think, yeah. And now, oh God.
Well,
Who is that?
Oh, this,
that
this
was
is the dread presence.
so. Now it's a thing that physically exists.
Yeah. The doors burst open, and no longer are any of you in combat.
You cut out a bit there. What was
sorry.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. None of you are now in combat.
Ah,
You are now playing a 5-on-5 game of basketball against Garfield, Odie, George Washington, Batman, and the Lich.
So is Jean's wound healed, or is he playing
No,
wounded?
y'all are any wounds sustained are now permanent. Y'all are still injured.
Why is the Lich on their side?
He looks just as confused by that as you are.
sounds like we have an inside man.
The Lich does not look like he wants to play on this side. I'll say that. So yes, it's now a 5-on-5 basketball game. Whoops, I accidentally turned on the paint tool. Anyways,
Flip a coin to see who goes first.
yep. Heads is y'all, tails is the Monstars. Oh no, the Monstars go first. So let me just move all this to the side. Yes, come on and slam. Welcome to the jam. They're just taunting you. The Lich does not partake, but he looks like he's being bullied into participating. You are all getting mocked relentlessly, and something about your game not being good enough. Something, y'all fight like a cow.
Well.
So, yeah.
Finny will go. That's bad because cows fight good.
Could I make an inspiring and rousing coach-like speech to the team so that we get an advantage?
Sure.
Oh, I have to make one, or?
I want to see how good it is, so yeah, draw a card.
Kale.
Kale?
It can be good.
Person or...
It's a vegetable. It's
Yeah, a
Listen,
leafy
people.
green.
it's good
You've
for
all
you,
eaten
but it's
your
really
greens.
bitter.
Listen, people, you've all
good in
eaten your
soup.
greens.
It is good.
You're all healthy as all heck. And that cat eats nothing but lasagna. You can win this. You have the physical fitness to do it. Ignore
I do.
Batman.
I can cross that whole court in like a second or two.
You sure
You
can.
know what I mean?
I'm gonna say
I'm
it's a moderate success.
I'm 3 foot.
Right.
So
The-
Jean, he's going to use Cure Wounds to take care of that bullet problem.
Sounds good. Let's see how well that works.
Did they get advantage?
Leprosy.
You've given yourself leprosy. So, I mean, you're a really good point guard now? Because no one will want to touch you?
Yeah.
It's got its pros and cons. And Zarhon, unfortunately, like I said, it was a moderate success, so not really advantage, but you didn't give them any problems. I'll say
All right.
you'll get 1 bonus at the end. Is how I'm gonna phrase it.
So, I'd like to use my face step, which as a bonus action, I can magically teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space I can see. And as a Winter Eladrin, when I use this ability, one creature that I can see within 5 feet of me before I teleport. Well, never mind, because that's before I teleport. Forget that. I'm just going to run up to the basket and dunk.
Nice. Go ahead and draw a card. Let's see how well it goes. Hope!
Hope.
Score the goal and give us hope.
Yes, you have a shot. It was way easier than it seemed like, based on the fact that most of you are very short and most of them are kind of taller. So yeah, y'all have hope. Y'all have hope. So that was 3 of you. Ren, what would you like to do?
So I guess like now is it a like so the ball was dunked, are we having to like do the whole like jump off thing in the middle?
I mean, it's basically at this point it's just going to be back and forth. So just do whatever,
Okay.
and I'll describe stuff as it happens.
I'm going to use telekinesis again to try to just shoot the ball and like from the 3-point line and just
Sounds good. Go for it. Oop. I think that's a success.
Yeah.
I think it's a dunk so righteous that several people in the audience are
Or like
given a disorder. It's just, oh my god.
Yeah.
Finny, what would you like to do?
Point of definition needed. Is grapple for grabbing a hold to someone else and wrestling with them, or is grappling like shooting a thing and it hooking on something and pulling it?
It would be
I think it's
the former in this case.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to try to grapple. Since I'm short, I'm going to try to grapple somebody on the other team.
Okay.
Or at least get in their way.
Sounds
I
good.
wonder if there are any refs on this field.
Oh, real quick, I just remembered since that was above first or above second above a cantrip that
Wild
I did
magic.
roll.
Oh, you did get wild magic?
Yeah.
Let's find out. Hey, that one's actually just fine. I get by with. I think you give advantage to Finny, since they were the
draw
next
2.
person to go. Yeah, so you would draw 2 on your grapple check.
Which is we have to do.
We'll pick the best one of these.
So, rabies or throwing stones at a man until he dies. So who do we throw stones at until they die?
You've got Garfield the Antichrist, Odie, the Lich, I guess, George Washington, and Batman. So who do you get in the way of, Finny?
Probably between Batman and George Washington.
I'm inclined to say Garfield.
Well, I don't think Garfield's technically a man.
I think that's true.
If we're following the words of the card to a T.
Yes, let's Swest. You can make the decision. Who dies?
Do you want rabies? Or do you want throwing stones at a man until he dies?
Well, I think that of the list, I think Batman's going to be the hardest to get pinned down and move, and like he's probably got basketball moves. So I think he's the one that needs to go.
I mean, just kill the Batman.
Kill the Batman.
My attack earlier worked. He would have maybe died.
I think in this particular case, the card says until he dies. And you know what the best part is? The specifics is throwing stones. I think you destroy him with the basketball.
There you go.
I think you are so surprisingly good with the rock that you just wreck him.
His head flies off.
And Batman is taken down for the count. The ref makes a sort of like gesture. The ref, who was not there 5 minutes ago, makes a sort of gesture to continue play. Because it does not matter if the only time it matters is if all of one team is dead.
Well, I do have stone shape, so I could have, fashioned a stone to look like a basketball and then thrown it at him and, hey, sketch! And
Also true.
whack.
All right, now let's see how well the remaining 4 players do. I think Jafar is their surprise 5th. I think that's what happens there. I think
Substitution.
Yeah.
Is this regular Jafar or twisted Jafar?
I'm gonna say Jafar from the Disney's Aladdin movie.
Wow.
Because that's funnier to me. So Odie not so good with basketball. I think
Garfield was also lazy.
yeah. I think Garfield's using a team of lawyers to try and argue that he's made a basket.
I feel like Odie would be the third one.
That's what I was saying. Is
Yeah.
Odie is
So-
expecting a burp and vomiting on the floor.
The team of lawyers could be arguing the case that we broke the rules with what we did to Batman.
Also
Mhm.
true. Also true. But
Or
this
that
Or
we're
they just
using
now have like 10
copyrighted-
people on their team.
also
Or that
true.
we're using copyrighted Garfield merch. Or
And
something.
also, anything is possible. We'll see the end results of that in a minute, I guess.
So which of them summons Jafar, and which of them is a much younger woman?
Also, what happened to George Washington?
It's
One of those 2 cards.
yeah, it's one of these is George Washington and the other is the Lich. I think George Washington summons Jafar and the Lich tries to like sneak someone else onto the field. Who
He tags in a player who happens to be a much younger woman.
yes, and she's unfortunately good at basketball. So she scores.
No, it's Lola.
It's Lola.
Does
And
that mean the Lich goes back to our team?
the Lich wasn't on your team. He's
Yeah.
on the sidelines.
He goes back to the sidelines.
Yes, he's doing a terrible cheerleader routine. It's go team go, 'cause if you don't, I'll be trapped forever. Jafar is drinking alone, so I don't
So
think
he's not much help.
I don't think he's much help right at this moment, unless it turns out that he's surprisingly good. All right, so that's the first quarter. Surprisingly bad all around.
I mean, we've each gotten at least 1 goal between the 2 teams.
Yes,
We have 2.
two goals for you, but 2 goals for you, and you killed one of the other players. So
Mine was
Yeah.
a 3.
oh yes, yours was a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
So it's currently like
So we got
5-2.
5 points.
5-2 is how I'm gonna say it. All right, this
Yeah.
round, let's go. Who wants to go first?
I do.
All right.
All right. So since the bard I'm with is a depressed person,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use my knightly stature to make him a knight. I will name him Sir John.
Okay.
And stick him at Garfield and Odie.
All right, draw. Let's see how good this goes. Much like actual John, this poor bard is not quite good enough to contain Garfield and Odie. That said, they do definitely seem more distracted by him than they were. So,
Yeah.
all right, who's next?
I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to try to play some defense on this one,
Okay.
and I'm going to activate my robe of scintillating colors.
Okay.
So my the like flames that are bursting out of my cloak like start flashing in like a myriad of colors.
Mhm.
Which it says during this time it sheds bright light in 30-foot radius and a dim light for additional 30 feet. Creatures that can see you have disadvantage on attack rolls against you,
Mm-hmm.
And any creature in the bright light that can see you when the robe's power activates must succeed on a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw or become stunned until the effect ends.
Okay.
So basically epilepsy robes.
Yep. So here is how I'm going to here's how I'm going to do it. All y'all will pass. I'm going to say that Ren does it.
Warn us.
Yeah, gives you a warning and does it from behind you, so you're not directly looking at her when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest, the other 5, will flip a coin to determine whether or not they're stunned, but they will have disadvantage if they try to push past you. So heads would be a success, tails a failure. So 1 succeeded against it, 1 failed, another failed. 1 more succeeded. And okay, so you've successfully stunned 3 of them. Which 3 would you like it to be? And who do you want to run defense against? Vermi?
Oh, sorry. I had pushed a talk on. Okay, the 3 I wanted to stun are George Washington, Jafar,
Okay.
and Garfield.
Okay, so Odie and Lola will be the ones who can still shoot.
And I'll do defense against Lola.
Makes sense. She's probably the most competent. Okay, who is next?
Well, I had a similar idea of playing defense, was I was just gonna sit on the hoop and use deflect missiles on anyone who tries to make a basket.
I love it. Perfectly valid play. Also, thank you for drawing the basketball court over here. Okay, yeah, I'll allow it. If a basket comes by, you'll have a shot of stopping it. Okay.
All right.
That leaves Jawa and Swest, correct? Alrighty.
And actually, you know what? I'll turn invisible too, so they don't know I'm there.
Sounds good. Sounds perfectly reasonable. Okay. So I guess Swest, would you like to go first?
Okay. I am guessing being my last success was a little too successful. It's like,
You only killed a man.
Looking to just grapple him and all of a sudden he's dead.
Yeah,
okay.
Don't let it go to your head.
So anyway, she's probably going to try to shove someone this time.
All right. Who
And I guess the most probably Garfield's going to be more on her level anyway.
Probably.
As far as height goes.
Do they get
So she's
advantage because of the stun?
Yes, they do.
And the distraction or whatever it was.
Yep.
Mhm.
So let's see
So,
how
yeah,
this
Garfield.
goes. Let's see how you fare against Garfield the Antichrist. Oh, God! Man, wow. In this case, I think you destroyed him.
I don't know my own strength.
I think you
He has
don't.
been reduced to a pile of rubble.
Yeah.
This is the second one you've killed.
Yeah.
So, Finney just
Just-
annihilates a basketball.
I mean, level 20 fighter. It's bound to happen. Yeah. Yeah, you
Oops.
Hey, killing the Antichrist is generally a good thing. You did it. Okay, Jawa.
So I'm going to use animate objects on the basketball and the hoops.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Let me double check that spell real fast.
So make the hoops want to, help us get points, help them not get points, and make the basketball want to bounce into their hoop.
Okay. All right, these have got to be like large at least. So, okay. Let's draw. Let's see how this goes. Well, I have good news. The court is very fond of the chant happening right now, which is be aggressive, be aggressive. So the ball and hoops, I should say, are now trying to attack anyone they can. Do you animate both hoops or just the one?
I animated the basketball in both hoops.
Okay. I believe that's all. That's everyone. So there's only 2 people who can move, which is Odie and Lola. Let's do Odie first.
I guess.
What? I think Odie just eats a
There's a
bunch of
field
8th graders. I think Odie is distracted.
They should not have come to this game.
They should not have.
They were getting ready for the halftime thing.
Yeah,
where they
the
were gonna-
halftime charity
Halftime
performance.
match.
All right, let's see. Lola has disadvantage, so let's see how her attempts go. Oh, this is a toughie. You know what? Since it's disadvantage, Vermi, you can pick which one happens to Lola Bunny.
Well, it's gonna have to be the amount of gay I am, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Who on our team is female again?
Ren is female, and so is Finny. So, correct me if I'm wrong. Are you implying some sort of meet cute?
Yeah, I guess something like that.
All right. I
Oh,
think.
what?
I was thinking that Lola would just be like, I don't know,
Infatuated?
distracted. I have no idea.
That,
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Is like distracted of now that I'm close to you. Now that you're shining brilliantly like the sun.
Oh no, she's hot.
Yeah. Oh no, she's hot. I think that's pretty much exactly what happens. And yeah, no points there. Let's there was one other oh right, the hoop, the basketball and the hoops. Yeah. So all right, basketball getting caught up in the crossfire. I think the basketball hits everybody.
Well, then I'm gonna deflect missile.
Fair enough.
Throw it into the hoop.
Yep, go ahead and draw for that. This will be the Neil Diamond's greatest hits. Yeah, I'll say that's a success. And since you're on the other side, that's a 3-pointer.
I think I tagged the lich.
Yeah.
Can I use Mage Hand to deflect the ball towards their hoop?
I don't think you can for the fact that I think animate objects is concentration.
Okay.
So I don't.
You can still use another spell if a spell has concentration.
I think
All right,
you
you can't use another spell that
with
requires
concentration.
concentrate. You're right. Yeah. I don't think Mage Hand requires concentration, but let me double check. Whoops, I pressed.
I think
the
it's a
wrong.
cantrip, and I don't think most cantrips require concentration.
Yeah, I'd still rather double check. I've got it right here. Nope, it's not concentration. Right. Okay, yeah, you can Mage Hand if you so desire. I will draw for you. Let's see how well that goes. Injecting speed into one arm and horse tranquilizer into the other. I think the intent of that is it balances out, so not you deflect it so you don't lose concentration on the animation, but you
don't quite make it in.
Yeah. Their hoop attacks the lich. So he's now running away from that. And the other hoop is attacking the lich. But for a completely different reason. Both hoops are now attempting. I think y'all are seeing why this might have been a curse for this lich in particular.
Yep.
All right. Half.
Got shot earlier.
Let's see real fast how the halftime show goes now that the 8th graders are gone.
Can
about-
Jonk use Jonk use halftime to try and cure wounds on himself again?
Yeah, you sure can.
I'll use this time to regain my keep.
Can I try to help?
So, vigorous jazz hands.
I think
Yeah,
that's a
I feel like
success.
That's a success.
Yeah. Oh, never mind then.
Yeah.
You now no longer have leprosy, and your hands are there,
Yep. Yeah, you seem good there.
so you can do jazz hands.
Yes, and they don't fall off.
I presume it also cures the bullet wound.
As best you can, yes.
Okay.
I mean, you're still injured, but not as badly.
As the team's unofficial coach, I will make another pep talk.
Sounds good. Go ahead. I think with the lead you have advantage.
Okay.
This is certainly an awkward set.
Yep.
Hmm.
So maybe a pep talk and how we can win this because the other team is not contributing to society in any meaningful way. They're losers.
I'll allow it.
We're winners.
Yep, that's fine. I'm taking on that.
All right. Advantage
Listen,
advantage for this quarter, everybody.
Nice.
All right. The halftime show, as I drew earlier, is Chunks of Dead Hitchhiker. So that didn't work out so well. Let's move on to the third quarter team. The remaining 4 players are unstunned, or the remaining 2 stunned players are unstunned. So George Washington and Jafar are back in the action. Odie is cleaning up 8th graders, and Lola is distracted by the sexy. So who would like to go first?
I would
Okay.
like to.
Oh, Was someone else?
I think Zarhon wanted to go first.
Yeah.
I would like to trick Jafar into turning into a giant snake because that never works.
Indeed. Go ahead. Hello,
And
Train.
because I can kill it then.
And that's advantage too.
Yes, you have advantage. You can draw another one. Although that's a really
okay.
good one.
It is.
Yeah, I think we know which one's better. Which is
Honestly, I really like the idea of No being like he tries to convince Jafar and just mental images of that always going wrong flash into his mind and
Yeah.
he just runs off the court, never to be seen again.
I think
Or that.
I think that's
There is also the idea that Axe body spray means what exactly happens to him when I get to him in snake form.
gross but hilarious. I don't know. You've got advantage. Which one do you like better?
Sure, no.
The no? I think yes. We'll go with that. Of he almost does, and then he has a series of grisly flashbacks to every single time he's tried to turn into a snake and how that didn't help. And he runs off the court crying. There was a reason he was drinking alone, and it was snakes. All right, who's
Follow
next?
The bard.
Okay, Jonk is going to use catapult to shoot the basketball into the hoop from far side of the court.
Downtown.
From downtown. Go for it. Let's see how this goes. I forgot I'm drawing for you. Ho!
Do I get advantage on this?
You do. Yes,
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay.
Well, not going to use that one.
I can't see either of them yet.
Oh, why did it go into there? Oh, there we go. It's okay. So your choices are an atomic wedgie or crying into the pages of Sylvia Plath.
An atomic wedgie or what?
Crying into the pages of Sylvia Plath.
Who the hell is that?
She's
A
a
book?
delightfully sad poet.
Ah.
I'm inclined to stay. I mean, I could see either of them technically being a good or bad.
I'll say this: an atomic wedgie just happened in Space Jam.
Yeah.
That was just a thing that happened. I could easily picture basketball in catapult. Catapult accidentally grabs one of the other players by the underoos and creates atomic wedgie while also hitting a basket.
Yeah. Only question is, does it happen to us or the bad guys?
Well,
I was thinking maybe one of the enemy team is underneath the basket. Basket goes in, bounces up an atomic wedgie.
See, I'm thinking that the catapult shot is so incredible it makes one or more people on the other side want to cry into the pages of Sylvia Plath.
Also good. Also good.
Yeah.
You're the
So, yeah,
only
I'm
one
gonna-
who gets me, Sylvia Plath. I think regardless, like either of those is hilarious enough that I'm willing to allow it, and they're both good. So, another 2 to 3 points. Spoilers: this is much like Whose Line, and that the points don't matter. I don't know why I drew
All
a
that
card.
matters is we're winning.
Whoops. Yes. I believe we've still got Ren and Iracul and Finny. So who would like to go next?
I can go. I'll grab the ball
Mhm.
and I'll cast Fireball.
Nice.
So I'll just fill it up with a bunch of fire magic,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will run up and try to dunk it at 8th level.
Nice. Also wild magic trigger. So go ahead and draw.
Boom shakalaka.
Are you sure?
Do they have
it's just
advantage?
not really-
You do, yes.
It's not it's wild.
Yeah, no, the coin's not weight. This happened last time. Wow. What a wild magic pull that is. I think that's a truly righteous dunk. So which of those do you want to go with?
I think maybe like I'll go with the homosexual agenda.
Yeah, I mean,
and the way I'm thinking of it is that my dunk will be like so good that it'll like once again
I think Lola
Like,
Bunny.
Now
impress
Lola's
Lola.
on our team.
I think yes. I think Lola switches teams. So yeah, you're doing a real good job of just destroying this other team. All right, Finny, Iracul, who would like to go next? Well, don't all say something at once.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, I think this might be the last quarter.
It might.
Is George
The
Washington
game
in the
goes
know
so
because-
far our direction that it shaves an entire quarter off.
It might
the
be.
mercy kill rule.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna bump into George Washington and make him explode with quivering palm.
Yes. Go for it.
That's somehow not a foul.
Of course not. So
I mean,
I'm
you
gonna
can make it
say
high.
the first one is all that remains of George Washington.
Yeah.
Hang on,
Where-
what's which dollar bill has George Washington on it?
The single
Oh,
dollar
I
bill.
think it's the
It's
$1
a $1
bill.
bill. But also, interestingly enough, George Washington grew hemp. So $20 of weed might actually be quite a lot for him. Either way, I think he does explode.
Yeah, one of those is all that remains of him.
All right. Finny, you are the last one. Would you like to destroy Odie and make it 3 for 3?
Actually, he was going to be my target anyway.
Okay.
Wait, don't we
Actually,
have animal handling. Who was that?
how close are we in points?
Right
we are
now,
crushing
don't.
them.
you are destroying
We're crushing.
them. Metaphorically, literally, and physically.
And theoretically.
And theoretically. We're no longer in the realm of theoretical tigers. Your tiger is on the
Hey,
cheer
actu-
squad, by the way.
Hypothetically,
Okay, yeah. I was wondering where he might be. Yeah, I'm going to send, since cats and dogs, even though he's used to living with Garfield, I'm going to get the tiger to try to distract Odie.
Sounds good.
Kick him off the table.
I mean, what is a tiger but a bigger Garfield?
Exactly.
Exactly.
So maybe he'll listen to him, or sit, stay.
You have two options: cutting and the hustle.
My tiger starts doing the hustle to try to get Odie to do the hustle.
I think that hustles Odie out of the arena.
We win by default.
You win by default. The Lich looks relieved.
Hey, and I didn't kill Odie!
You didn't kill Odie, the one innocent who also ate a bunch of 8th graders.
What about Jafar?
Jafar's also not dead.
Innocent, but
He's
also not dead.
Yeah, he's.
I did not kill him.
Mhm. No, Jafar
We
is.
also didn't kill Lola. Jesus.
Jafar is only emotionally crippled.
Yeah. Lola's on our team now.
Yes.
So.
I'm in love with at least one party member.
So the basketball court fades, and you find yourself back in the entryway, and there is no longer. There's still a whole bunch of stairs, but now it's more organized and neat. And the Lich goes, "Oh, thank God! I really thought you were gonna bone that one up." So, now that the door's back, could you do that whole pushing thing and perhaps not explode me?
Well, since you said it, I won't. I was really thinking about it though.
Okay, good.
I will joust him out of the door.
I think we don't have to roll. I think y'all's combined efforts succeed because the curse does not want to deal with you anymore. You have successfully brought forth the Dark Master of the Cursed Citadel and fulfilled his request. He as he admires the fresh air, he goes, "It's good to get out of that shithole. All right, so I believe you are all owed," and he reaches into his ribs and pulls out several large sacks of coins and just hands it to you all and says, "We good? We good?"
Sure.
What did he pull out? I missed it.
Just basically your payment.
Yeah, it's just where he pulled it from. That's kind of like Finney's like backing up. Yeah, great, awesome.
We are good, but the next time you make a bad pun, you will cease to exist.
Drunk uses Mage Hand to claim his reward.
Okay, the mage hand goes off without a hitch because you are now outside the realm of the curse.
I have Sir John retrieve it.
Sir John retrieves it for you. He's still looking remarkably drunk. And I think with that, you are all free to go your separate ways or heed the call for another terrible, terrible adventure.
Sure.
And I think that's going to be it.
Wonderful.
I think that is going to be it for the night because we have gone through 107 white cards and a whole 15 black cards or 14 black cards for Cards Against Humanity. And boy, howdy, is that a lot.
Yeah.
Hope next time we manage to get the custom cards.
Yes, Zarhon wrote a whole bunch of really cool custom cards, and I'm just not good enough with tabletop sim yet to actually do it properly. But next time, I will add those in, and it will be.
I have to pull it off next time, or whoever it was that made it last time.
Yes. So, thank you all for joining. Thank you all very much for agreeing to play this dumb game.
Thank you for DMing.
hosting.
Thank you for doing it.
Thank you for hosting and running.
No.
Yes, thank you.
No worries. I hope everyone had a bunch of fun, and I would be remiss if I did not say this real fast. I shamelessly stole a lot of this from a Tumblr post by one David J. Prokopets. I will link it in the Twitch chat. It was an idea that really made me think, oh, this would be great for a Dungeons Against Humanity game, which was basically a bunch of adventurers are told you need to rescue someone from you need to bring forth the Dark Master from the Spire of Night. And it turns out it's the Lich who really wants to leave because it's a cursed citadel. And why would he want to live in a cursed citadel? It's cursed.
Yeah.
So thank you all. I think I'm going to stop it here as it is 8, which is longer than we usually go. And hopefully next week, Forgotten Ones, barring
Yay!
terrible things.
I could probably make it if we start when the intended time and an hour less than now because it's 2 a.m. right now.
Yeah, it's super late. I apologize. It's, as usual, my inability to maintain time is frustrating.
So I will probably message you sometime in the week about patron stuff.
Yes. Okay. But we can discuss all this after the stream. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Appreciate it if you enjoyed it. And as usual, if you liked this and it ends up on Spud's channel, please support Spud through his various Patreon, YouTube, comic, etc. Just, have a good time. Thanks for joining.